1995. Hello once again. Last time was a while ago, but I know I didn't like the whale. This time, we're gonna be covering some 1995 movies I came across that I have not been able to see or rank for one reason or another. This is always an interesting topic because every time I come across one of these, it becomes a wild scavenger hunt for necessary information and or access to the film with varied results. Yes, let's take a deep dive into the 1995 Graveyard. Now, if you know me, and I hope you do, you know that I love a good parameter. And unlike the popular children's card game titled Yu-Gi-Oh!, my graveyard has rules, okay? Can't have the monsters just wandering in and out like it's some kind of antiquated and probably haunted public transportation vehicle. That said, entering my graveyard is a rare privilege that has arisen from specific, bizarre cinematic research situations. So the universal rules are pretty broad to begin with, and there's only two of them. Rule 1. You are a graveyard movie if I know you were officially released in the US of A and currently do not have the means to witness the content in any reasonable way. Rule number 2. I do have the means to witness the film, and I do know it was released in the United States of America, but I cannot, for the life of me, verify with absolute certainty that the freaking movie was released in my freaking birth year. Okay, so, the first patron of this here graveyard is an adorable little film titled Shock Treatment. I ran into this film early on in my project, and this case in particular is very elusive, but it already involves a red herring. Now, red herrings in the Hollywood industry are so common that when people aren't complaining about the very existence of soups, they're complaining about red herrings. Oh my god, why is Holly Weird constantly trying to make these red herrings? Mulan is a red herring for Mulan. Champions is a red herring for French Champions. Multi-Oscar winning film All Quiet on the Western Front is a red herring for multi-Oscar winning film All Quiet on the Western Front. The Little Mermaid... Wait. That's different. That's just people with small imaginations who can only respect black people as stereotypically oppressed, stereotypically excellent, or as small creatures that talk funny. But hey, all power to you, Kevin Rock Murphy. Make your money. Whoa, where was I? The train fell off the rails. Oh yeah, red herrings. The thing about the Hollywood red herring is that it is almost always the case that both films were definitely released and are easily findable. You can look up stills, clips, posters for both and be like, oh yes, this is a red herring for that. Shock Treatment is different. You see, you know that Rocky Horror Pokemon Snap movie? The very famous one that's very famous? Yeah, it had a sequel. Well, not a plot sequel, but this is how we're gonna follow that act kind of sequel. The title, Shock Treatment. The release date, 1981. Yeah, this one's the red hair. I am looking for 1995 Shock Treatment, and the only information the entire internet is going to give you is that it exists, that it was released in 1995, and some details about the nature of its existence. There are no clips, there are no posters, there are no stills. There is not a single visual element that exists on the World Wide Web. What do we know about 1995's Shock Treatment? Well, we know it's a TV movie, we know it aired on television in 1995 and was nominated for the 1996 Gemini Award for Best Visual Effects. What are those? The Canadian Emmys. Yes, it's a Canadian production, but sometimes Canada stuff just shows up on US TVs. Like Pharrell Williams, what is he doing here? Wait, he was born in Virginia? Why did I think he was Canadian? What in the Mandela effect is going on here? I must have gotten him mixed up with The Weekenders or The Mandrake or something. But yeah, the movie is about a preteen kid who makes a cool superhero titled The Shock on his computer. That's it. There are no other details on this movie. I tried to email some of the folks who made the movie happen. They didn't get back to me. One day, when I have money and time, I might do a deeper investigation. But as of now, this movie is lost media. Oh shoot, I can put that in the title for the sweet YouTube search engine optimization. Speaking of streamer strategies, let's just get it out of the way. I'm Julia Chang, the Party Crasher. Comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Okay, so this next movie is lost media in a different kind of way. And I think once you see this trailer narrated by a weirdo robot man who I imagine Sigma would sound like in a movie, you'll understand.
This is the city, full of sleazeballs, jerks, and buttheads, taking unfair advantage of their fellow man. But now there's someone to turn to who give them what they deserve. Justice, retribution, payback. Mr. Payback.
You're him?
Who is Mr. Payback? He's part man, part cyborg, and 100% Avenger. And he's coming exclusively to theaters equipped with Interfilm's revolutionary interactive button control system, where you, the audience, choose every step of his adventure.
Give it to me now, man!
You, the audience, choose who he runs into and what he does to them.
Like this, you do this, right? Like so, and then you do this. This show is all about making choices.
You choose a case with a client and villain.
I've been cheated out of my home and my land by boss Jim Conklin.
I was framed at work by my racist boss, Ed Jarvis.
I'm a student at West Bay College. I'm being sexually harassed by Dean Wyatt.
Decisions.
You choose all the ups and downs. And finally, you, the audience, choose the ultimate payback. From the creator of Back to the Future comes Hollywood's first interactive movie. Starring Billy Warlock.
Oh no, I have your routine down.
Bruce McGill.
Are you threatening me?
Leslie Easterbrook.
That is my final word on the subject.
Holly Fields. And Christopher Lloyd as Ed Jarvis.
Let's try it, shall we?
Sony New Technologies in association with Interfilm presents Mr. Payback. Revenge has never been so much fun.
Yeah, this thing was a thing that was actually a thing. What? You thought Netflix was being revolutionary when they showed up with that movie where you got to play Minecraft? Nope. Mr. Payback over here is the first choose-your-own-adventure style interactive movie. Wait, no it is not. That is an ignorant American lie. That privilege actually belongs to Kino Laundromat, a movie that would stop at certain points, and then some Walmart employee walks out and is like, raise your hand if you want to see him eat a napkin. Oh, and there's a 1992 choose-your-own-adventure movie called I'm Ya Boy, cause Lowe's Theaters was trying something freaky where you get to choose your boy sometimes. There's also Night Trap, but now we're veering into video game territory. Like, that was for consoles. You can get it on the Switch. Wait, you can get Night Trap on the Switch? Talk about crazy crossovers. When I think about Nintendo, Night Trap does not come to the top of my mind. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if Night Trap was the only earlier example of interactive choose-your-own-adventure cinema, Mr. Payback would be able to more legitimately claim itself as the first interactive movie. But it's 1995. We do not have the Twitter, and ignorance is bliss. Now, unlike I'm Ya Boy, Mr. Payback has not had an official DVD or streaming release of any kind whatsoever, and that poses a major issue for viewing and ranking this film on my list. Don't get me wrong, there is content out there of it. Even famous cinema critic duo SpongeBob and Patrick did a review of it.
The movie is moronic, it is bathroom humor, it's an insult to the intelligence, but what I want to do right here is say, I think the verdict isn't in yet on the idea of interactivity. Now, this is not a movie.
Damn, SpongeBob, who do you think you are, Martin Patrick Swayze? You know, earlier in the segment, y'all literally interviewed a bunch of common people about the movie, and one of them said they liked Mr. Payback as much as they liked the freaking Best Picture winner. And you know, this entire critic versus commoner dynamic seems very, very familiar. It's Marvel versus Capcom, not Martin Scorsese versus Capcom. See ya, don't wanna be ya. Anyways, because Mr. Payback was a literal buttons in the theater situation, I can't really watch it and rank it properly, because even if there was a recorded full watch through, I wouldn't have access to the different choose your own adventure paths. I'll just have to cross my fingers and hope one day it's given the Night Trap treatment. But until I draw an illegal monster reborn, this card's in the graveyard. And now for something completely different. Now we're going to start getting into films that aren't technically completely inaccessible. This graveyard movie definitely exists, but it's locked. It's locked in the secret rooms of various academic institutions. I'm serious. The only way you're going to be able to get your stubby fingers on this one is if you're affiliated with or in the vicinity of Texas M&M's University, Emily Dickinson University, the University of Virginia Woolf, or NEW. It also might be at Sandslash and UC Bambi, but that's it. The title? 7 Steps to Sticky Heaven. And what's the deal with 7 Steps to Sticky Heaven? Well, it's a 24-minute short directed by, I'm not going to say this correctly, Nguyen Tan Huang. And it's a treasured academic curiosity of a film because it explores the phenomenon of sticky rice through interviews. What is sticky rice? Something that George Takei is probably better at explaining than I am, but from my understanding, it's the description of Asian dudes who are attracted to Asian dudes. It's like an experimental documentary that includes interviews and conversations with some gay Asian dudes in San Francisco in 1995. I'm fascinated by this, and the story of its availability gets even more fascinating. You see, Hong's works have been screened at the MoMA and the Getty Center and stuff, so his art is like art. So I really want to see this film, and in researching for this video, I just found out that he's like an associate professor of literature and cultural studies, so frankly, I might just email his butt directly and see what happens. Man, it would be a lot easier, though, if Mr. Lady Records was still running and had a distribution arm. What's Mr. Lady Records? It's a lesbian feminist record label in San Francisco that also sold video art. If I was gonna find 7 Steps to Sticky Heaven anywhere, it would probably have been there. But the place has been defunct since 2004. So yeah, this is a graveyard situation, but it definitely seems possible to do some grave digging here, you know? Heck, I might even make a video about it if I'm able to find some success somewhere. Okay, so the final film that is technically in the graveyard is this straight-to-VHS flick called Naked Bar Sports. It's exactly what it says on the problematic suitcase. You watch women play bar sports naked. At one point in time, there was a single copy that was for sale on Amazon.com, and now that time has passed. That said, when I zoomed in on the photos of the VHS tape, I couldn't even locate the release date, like, anywhere. And now I can't even locate the detailed photos of the front and the back of the VHS tape anymore. And it's abundantly clear that this was released in the US, but the year isn't set in stone because I have no way to truly, genuinely verify it, dude. I'm not just blindly trusting what the internet says. I have to examine how thoroughly it says it too. And naked bar sports is too wishy-washy. And that pretty much sums up the films that exist in my graveyard so far. Night Visions was another one that I thought had the same issue as Naked Bar Sports, but I found it on a website of disrepute, and when I skipped to the end, I saw and confirmed the 1995 release. So I ended up watching it and ranking it, and right now it's the third movie from the bottom of the 260 films I've seen at this point. The costumes were cheap, the acting was stupid, the eroticism was boring. Even if you're trying to arouse the baser senses, you can still put in some effort that isn't like throwing glitter on naked people in slow motion for 7 minutes straight. Movies like Night Visions make the VHS erotic thrillers look bad. And so do VHS erotic thrillers, but that's a different kind of bad. Maybe I'll talk about it in a future video. Maybe. I swear, if Karina Longworth says anything good about Jade, and I know her basic butt is going to talk about Jade in part 2 of her well-researched rigmarole next year, I'll have to step in. I'm already mad enough at the Criterion Collection for picking it to represent 1995 in its April of 2023 erotic thriller special. There were so many better choices. But whatever, till next time, hopefully it's soon.